Good morning, and welcome to Read Me a Story. I'm Miss Tonja, and today we're going to spend some time at the Oxford Wildcats football field. We're at the stadium here, and we have some friends playing football. We're going to read a book about football first. And our book today is Game Day by Tiki and Rondé Barber. It was a play Coach Mike liked to call Old Bread and Butter. Tiki and Rondé knew it by heart. It went like this. The quarterback took the snap and looked to the left at both ends, and he broke out to the left. Then, with a quick spin, the quarterback pitched the ball back to Tiki. He followed his brother into the opposite side. From there, if everything clicked, it was off to the races. And this time, everything did click. The defensive end ran towards the quarterback. Staying behind Rondé, Tiki sprinted into the clear. The goal line was 60 yards away. At the 20-yard line, two defensive backs closed in on Tiki. And the second, there was 3 players, and they all went down. Tiki leapt high and kept on spinning. He was running. Touchdown, Vikings. Tiki Barber, number 22, scores, the announcer called out. Rondé saw the whole team converge on the end zone, and he sat up and made his way to the milling crowd. He was limping a little. The block he took had somehow hurt his ankle. Tiki, Tiki. All the Vikings crowded around Tiki, and they cheered. Even some of the parents had come onto the field. Rondé saw his mother looking at Tiki, and he waved. He wondered, if I hadn't made that block, Tiki wouldn't have saved it and scored. Did anybody notice that Coach Mike came up besides Rondé, and he patted him on the shoulder. Nice game, the coach said. And then he added, that twin brother of yours, he's amazing. That's his 7th long touchdown in the season. Yeah, Rondé said, and his head was down. You okay, the coach asked. Yeah, I'm okay, Rondé said in a quiet voice. He didn't feel like talking to anyone, and he hobbled across the field. Oh, no. It was Tuesday afternoon, and the twins were in their room doing homework. Rondé suddenly looked up from his book, and he said, guess how long it took Lewis and Clark to go from the Mississippi River to the Pacific Ocean? Tiki said, couple weeks? A couple weeks? It took almost 2 years, Rondé grinned. That's what you know. Well, if 2 guys now, all day, it was just 2, Rondé said. No way. He pointed to his book. It took almost 40 to get there, a whole bunch. The twins' mother popped her head into the room. Surprise, she whispered. Someone's here to talk with you. A reporter with the Roanoke newspaper was doing a feature story about the city's Pee Wee League. There was a photographer with him. Are you Tiki, the reporter asked, looking at Rondé. Rondé shook his head. He pointed at his twin brother. The reporter turned to Tiki and said, your coach tells me you've already scored 7 touchdowns in 4 games. What's your secret? Tiki, like Rondé, felt funny talking to adults. He pawed at the floor with his foot, and then in a low voice he said, I just keep running. I do my best, and then the game happens around me. The reporter went on talking to Tiki. Those are some long runs, 60, 70 yards. Don't you get out of breath? Sometimes, Tiki smiled shyly, but I keep running. The reporter turned to the photographer. Let's take his picture outside while he's holding a football. They turned to the outside. While Rondé stayed behind, the boy's mother called out, how about taking both boys' pictures together? They're a team. Rondé is Tiki's best blocker. Sure, said the reporter. That's a great idea. Later, as the boy's mother cooked dinner, Rondé mumbled in a soft voice to his brother, guys who block and stuff like that, nobody notices. People just want the guy who scores the touchdown. Well, his mother was silent for a minute, and Rondé went on. I'm fast too, and all the tryouts this fall, I was as fast as Tiki, but I don't carry the ball. His mother seemed to be thinking, Then she popped a funny question. Who cooks dinner here? Rondé looked up. What is Mom talking about, dinner? You do, he said. And if I were to stop, his mother asked. Rondé laughed. We would be hungry, and we'd eat a lot of peanut butter sandwiches. Before he could say anything, his mom jumped in with an answer. I'll tell you what, we'd all starve. And who carries out the garbage each night? Me and Tiki. Right on. And guess what if you guys didn't? Rondé smiled. We'd all have to walk around like this, and he pinched his nose. P.U. It's a good thing we work together, isn't it? Saturday arrived, but Rondé's ankle still was slightly swollen. He sat on the bench in his street clothes next to Coach Mike. Can't I maybe play a little in the second half, he pleaded. No way, Jose, said the coach. Besides, next week's game is the big one. Let's get you ready for that. Tiki trotted over to the bench, out of breath, but ready for the pregame warm-up. Hey, Coach Mike, he said, laughing and pointing to Rondo. Let's win one for your brother here. The Vikings crowded around the coach and Rondé. Yeah, they all cheered. Tiki and Rondé gave each other high fives. Rest up. We really need you next week for the big game. I'm going to take a couple of long runs just for you, Rondé. Watch me. Yes, easier said than done. Again and again, Tiki cut through the line of the defense in a slow-footed lineman, only to find himself trapped again by two linemen. Defensive backs, and they hemmed him in and they drove him out of bounds. A few times, Rondé leaped to his feet and he called out, "Go, Tiki, go!" But it didn't do any good. Cheering helps, Coach Mike said, but not as much as a few solid blocks. He's really missing his main man. Rondé looked over at his coach and he wondered, is Coach Mike talking about me? The game was tied after 3 quarters. Finally, in the 4th quarter, the Vikings slowly ground their way to a winning touchdown. But where was Tiki's long gains? Not today. Not today. It was the following Wednesday, practice day before their game with the toughest team in the league, the Knights. Rondé felt like a colt who had been out in the barn. He hopped up and down and he tested his ankle. He led the team in warm-up rounds around the track. He loved the breeze on his face and the feel of the cinders under his shoes. Coach Mike told Rondé and Tiki to take turns catching and returning the balls. As Tiki watched from the bench, Rondé caught 10 high spiraling punts in a row without dropping one. After each catch, he zigzagged and he sprinted for 20 yards and then he came back. When it was Tiki's turn, Rondé went to the sidelines. Paco, who was Rondé and Tiki's best friend, jogged over to where Rondé was sitting. Paco was heavier than the twins and slower. He played in the offensive line and he was a solid blocker. Yo, Rondé. Hey, Pac. Paco sat down next to Rondé, breathing heavily. Oh, hitting those blocking dummies is hard work. Rondé looked at Paco. Do you ever get tired of just blocking for the other guys? Sometimes, but I figured someone's got to do it. And then when I do great, we win. So it feels pretty good. Yeah. I wish I could run fast like you and Tiki, but I can't. So Rondé and Paco were quiet for a moment. Paco went on. My dad always says a funny thing. He says you got to play your best with the cards you're dealt. Like, a loud whistle interrupted their conversation. Practice was over. Coach Mike was calling. Rondé and Tiki, come over here. A few more minutes. We've got a new trick play for Saturday on the books. Rondé jumped to his feet. What was that all about? Later, he called out to Paco and he ran off. Saturday was overcast. The wind swirled and died down and swirled again. The Knights were wearing shiny black uniforms. The gray sky seemed to make the players look even bigger. Parents stood behind the Vikings bench and they filled the bleachers. Rondé looked over and he spotted his mother. She smiled, gave him a thumbs up, and mouthed the words she always does, play good. The Vikings gathered round Coach Mike and then jogged out on the field. The boys were all psyched up and the game was about to start. The game was expected to be close, and at halftime it was tied. Only ready for the third quarter, when it was late, did Tiki, behind a great big block from his brother, break away for a very long touchdown run. But the Knights' bigger size started to show. Slowly, yard by yard, they drove to a touchdown and then edged ahead. What now? The Vikings were on their own 40-yard line. It was starting to drizzle, and the clock was running down. The Vikings' blue uniform were smeared with dirt. Rondé sprinted to the sidelines, listened to the coach, and then raced back. He ducked down into the huddle and he announced the play. Coach Mike says it's time for old bread and butter +1. Jason, the quarterback, glanced up. Huh? What's that +1? Tiki broke in. Don't worry. It's the same old play with something added. Let's do it, Paco called out as the team headed for the line of scrimmage. Oh boy. Jason took a snap. He faked a pass to the left. He wheeled around. He shoveled the football back to Tiki, who veered outside and on unrushing end. Tiki threaded his way downfield behind his brother, but the defensive backs were closing in. Then something strange happened. Rondé had swerved to miss his block, and he sliced sideways past the defenders. The 3 tacklers were unsure of themselves now. They went for Tiki. It seemed like it was all over. In a split second, Tiki leaped into the air. He spun around. With all of his strength, he lobbed a cross-field lateral pass to Rondé. The football wobbled and it dipped, but Rondé, without breaking a stride, bent forward and snatched it clearly above his shoes. He tucked the football under his arm and he was off. Rondé ran faster and faster with his eyes on the goalpost. 30-yard line, 20-yard line, then the 10. Touchdown, Rondé Barber, the announcer called out in a loud voice. The Vikings win, 20-15. Rondé stood in the end zone and he looked back. The whole team was racing down towards him. Tiki was there first. Together, he and Rondé held the ball high in the air. The Vikings gathered round. Many hands reached up to touch the winning football. You did it, Tiki shouted at Rondé. Rondé laughed. No, bro, you did it. And then he stopped. Well, we both did it. And he stopped himself again. Hooray for the Vikings. We all did it. The end. That's a great story about teamwork. Stay tuned, and after this break, we'll read a new book.
Welcome to Oxford Community Television. We are proud that our 4 communities continue to choose local programming, local news, sports, community issues, familiar faces, celebrations, and commitment to each other. Welcome to Oxford Community Television.
And welcome back. Our very next book is all about basketball. My favorite sports. I love basketball, and this book is by Ryan Nagelhout. Basketball is fun. I play it with my friends. How many friends are there? 1, 2, 3 friends playing basketball. I play on a team. What is his number? 13. He's on a team. Most basketballs are rubber, but some are made of leather. My team wears the same clothes. This is called a uniform. What color is their uniform? It's purple. I love to bounce the ball. You can see in the picture it's moving up and down, up and down. I pass it to my friend. goes through the air and the next person catches it. I like to shoot at a net. Way up there's the net to score. I made it in the hoop. I made a shot. It's called a basket. So every time it goes through the hoop, you make a basket, and then you get points. My team won the game. Hooray! And some of the words that we learned was net, pass, and uniform. I had fun learning all about basketball. Let's take a break and then we'll come back for our next story. Glad to see you again. Our very next book is A Ball for Daisy, and this story is by Chris Rashka. I wonder if Daisy's the dog. See his ball? The dog has a ball, and he's playing with it, and he's laying down on his back, throwing it up into the air, and he's catching it. What is he doing next? He's chasing it, and he's put it on the couch. If you have a dog at home, you know they put their toys all over everything. What does he do next? She lays next to the ball, takes a nap. Oh, I think she's waking up. And she sees her ball still there. So what does she do? She goes back to sleep. There's the ball again. So where do you think they're going to take it? I see Daisy's mom has it. They go to the park, and they're carrying the ball with them on a walk. Daisy's chasing what? The ball. What color is Daisy's ball? It's red. You're right, a red ball. And she brings it back. She chases it again and again. Uh-oh. Where did her ball go? It looks like it went over the fence. What do you think Daisy should do? Somebody got it for her, so she can play again. And one of her friends comes, and they play together. But, uh-oh. What happened to the ball? Oh, no. It broke. So Daisy takes her ball home, and it's deflated. It's not round anymore, is it? but she still has something to play with. See it there? But she thinks it's not the same because it's not round. It's still red though. There's her ball on the ground. So they get ready to go home, and what do they do with it? Where does her mom put it? In the garbage. But that makes Daisy sad. So Daisy goes home, and she takes a nap, and she sleeps. And I bet you her mom knows Daisy's sad without her ball. So she tries to make her feel better, and she takes another nap. And then they go to the park again. I think that's the friend she had at the park yesterday. Oh, and look what the friend bought. A blue ball. That's so nice to share. Now Daisy and her friend have a blue ball. And when they're done playing, Daisy gets to take the ball home. Her friend gave her a new ball when it was broken. And Daisy takes her blue ball home, and what do you think she does? She takes a nap. The end. All right, we'll see you in just a minute, and we'll be ready for our next story.
My name is Natalie Moser. I'm a volunteer here at Canine Stray Rescue League. And this smart guy is Master. Master is about 2 years old. He's 39 pounds and he's some sort of mixed breed. We have no idea what he is, other than he's 100% dog. Master has some puppy-like behaviors, but he's typically pretty well-mannered. He knows not to jump, although in the kennel environment, he is starting to get jumpy because of the stress of being here. He's very playful and sweet, very affectionate and connecting. He looks for his people for guidance. So we need someone who could build some confidence in him. He has a little bit of an underconfident demeanor. Because of his rowdy play style, we do ask that kids in the home be over 8 years old. He does have, he's not showing it, but he does have a shyer, quieter personality. Once he gets to know you, he's very playful and silly and goofy. If you're interested in Master or any of our other adoptable dogs, go to caninestray.com and fill out an application, or stop by during our open business hours.
And there you are, just in time for our very last story for today. Our story is a baseball story, and it's by Richard Torrey. Jingle, jingle, jingle. That's the sound of the ice cream man. But I'm not thinking about ice cream. I'm thinking about baseball. Because today is my team's first game of the season, and I have to get ready. Are you getting ice cream, Jordan? Not now. Before the game, I put on my uniform. My hat and my jersey have big stars on them. My team is called the Stars. I also wear bumpy shoes called cleats, and that helps me to run faster. I'm going to run really fast with these. I can't wait to see you, Mom says. All right, Slugger, are you all set? I'm almost ready to go, but first I have to look in the mirror to make sure I look like a real baseball player. Yup. Then I put on my baseball glove. It's the most favorite thing ever. When I wear it, I always have to put it up to my face because it smells so good. Jordan, honey, please watch where you're walking. I am. He's looking through the baseball glove. My coach's name is Mr. Haynes, but we call him Coach Mike. Before the game, Coach Mike tells us that baseball players always have to be ready. Hi, Coach Mike. And we are ready. Nice catch, Willie. Thank you. Nice throw, Jordan. We practice our throwing. We practice our catching. Oops, sorry. And then it's time to play ball. Jordan, look at me. I'm an airplane. The other team gets to bat first, so I run my fastest to the outfield. My mom and dad are waving, but I can't wave back because I have to be ready, Coach Mike says. In the outfield, you have to try to catch the ball if they hit near you. I hope they don't throw it too hard. I hope the sun doesn't get in my eyes. I hope that I don't miss it. I hope that a bee doesn't come near me. When you catch it, it's called an out. And he caught the ball in his glove. Jordan, look, I'm an airplane. I'll race you. I like when it's our turn to bat. We get to run our fastest to the base, and we even get to get a drink. Before you bat, you have to put on a special batting helmet, just like real baseball players wear. Cole is up first, and then Jordan, then Lindsay. Everyone else get on the bench. I'm hungry. Good luck, Jordan. I'm hot. Good luck, Cole. When it's my turn to bat, I walk to the home plate. My mom and dad are waving again. I still can't wave back because I have to be ready. If you want to get a hit, you have to watch the ball really, really hard and then swing the bat as fast as ever. Strike. When you miss, the umpire calls strike to tell everyone that you didn't get a hit. Swoosh, crack. But when you get a hit, he doesn't say anything since everyone already knows you got a hit. My mom and dad are waving again. This time I wave back just a little because I still have to be ready. Getting a hit is fun, but it's even more fun when you score a run. Everyone cheers for you and it feels good. It's like your birthday or something. When the game is over, we shake hands with the other team and we say, good game, good game, good game, good game, good game, good game. Coach Mike asks us if we had fun, and we all say, yes. Then he tells us that baseball players always have to be ready. For ice cream. And we are. The end. That's our last story. And I thank you for coming to the Oxford Wildcat Stadium. We had so many fun stories about sports and balls and all kinds of other things. So take some time today to go outside and play with your balls at your house. We'll see you next time.